Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Marife Adonis official channel. This is the second channel of teacher Marife Adonis. Okay, so today we're going to talk about donkey. No, for me it is an interesting animal. No, okay. So let's see what said according to Mr. Webster, no, or Mr. Wikipedia. So, according to religion, myth, and folklore, due to its widespread domestication and use, the donkey is referred to in a myth and folklore around the world. In classical and ancient cultures, donkeys had a part. So, donkey was a symbol of Egyptian sun god Ra. In Greek myth, Selinus, as pictured in classical antiquity, and during the Renaissance illustrations this one is a left drunken and riding a donkey. And Midas was given the ears of an ass after misjudging a musical competition. Donkeys or asses are mentioned in many times in the Bible. So beginning with the first book and continuing through both the Old and New Testament. So they became a part of Judeo-Christian tradition. They are portrayed as work animals used for agriculture purposes, transport, and as beasts of burden, and terminology is used to differentiate age and gender. In contrast, horses were represented only in the context of war, ridden by a cavalry or pulling chariots. Owners were protected by law from loss caused by death or injury of a donkey, showing their value in the time. Okay, narrative turning points in the Bible and other stories are both marked using donkeys. For instance, leading, saddling, or mounting, dismounting, and donkey are used to show a change in focus or decision having been made. They are used as a measure of wealth in Genesis 30, verse 43, and in Genesis chapter 34, the prince of Shechem, or the modern Nablus, is named Hamor, donkey in Hebrew. Okay. According to prophecy within the Hebrew Bible, the Messiah is said to arrive on donkey. Behold, your king is coming to you. He's just having a salvation, lowly and riding in a donkey, a colt full of donkey. From Zechariah chapter 9, verse 9. According to the New Testament, this prophecy was fulfilled when Jesus entered Jerusalem riding on an animal. From Matthew 21, chapter 21, verse 4 to 7, and John chapter 12, verses 14 to 15. Jesus appeared to be aware of this connection from Matthew to John. No? In Jewish religion, the donkey is not a kosher animal. In Zohar, it is considered Abi Abo Hatoma, or an ultimate impure animal and doubtly impure, as it is both non-ruminant and non-cloven hoof. However, it is the only pure animal that falls under Mizbah, our commandment of the firstborn, or the Bichor. Consecration that also applies to humans and pure animals. In Jewish oral tradition, the son of David was prophesied as riding on a donkey if the tribes of Israel are undeserving of redemption. In contemporary Israel, the term Messiah's donkey or Chamorro Messiah, okay, and Sun Center of Controversial Religious Political Doctrine, under which it was heavily imposed, a task of secular Zionists to build up a Jewish state. But once the state is established, they are fitted to give place to the religious who are ordained to lead the state. The secularists in this analogy are the donkey, while the religious who are fated to supplant them are collective Messiah. A book on subject published in 1998 by the militant secularist Sifi Rish Shelby arose a major controversy in Israel public opinion. With the rise of Christianity, some believers came to see the cross-shaped marking present on donkeys' backs and shoulders as a symbol of animals bearing Jesus into Jerusalem on Palm Sunday. During the Middle Ages, which we do not know when, Europeans used their hairs from their cross or contact with donkey as folk remedies to treat illness, including measles and whooping cough. So around 1400 AD, one physician listed riding backwards on a donkey as a cure for scorpion sting. Donkeys are also referred to repeatedly in the writings on imaginary Hinduism, where the goddess Kalaratri Vahana or vehicle is donkey. Donkeys also appear multiple times in Indian folklore as a subject of stories in both the Hitopadodish and the Panchatantra. In Islam, eating the meat of domestic donkey is forbidden. In literature and film, donkeys hold a significant place in literature, especially in Western cultures. The original representations of donkeys in Western literature came mainly from the Bible and ancient Greece. Donkeys were represented in the negative form by Greeks, but perceptions later changed, partially due to donkeys becoming increasingly symbolically connected to Christianity. Donkeys were found in the work of Homer, Aesop, and Apuleius, where they were generally portrayed as stupid and stubborn or servile at best, and generally represented the lower class. Oh, they were often contrasted with horses, which were seen as powerful and beautiful. Aesop's The Ass and the Lion's Skin representational of the almost 20 of the fables that portray donkeys shows the donkey as a fool. Apuleius, the golden ass in 160 AD, where the narrator is turned into donkey, is also notable for its portrayal of donkeys as stubborn, foolish, wicked, and lowly. This work had a large influence on the portrayal of donkeys in later culture, including medieval and Renaissance Europe. During this time, donkeys continued to be shown as stupid, clumsy, and slow. Shakespeare popularized the use of the word ass as an insult meaning stupid or clownish in many of his plays, including Bottom's appearance in A Midsummer Night's Dream in 1600s. In contrast, a few years later, Miguel de Cervantes writes a more positive slant on the donkey in his novel Don Quixote, primarily as Sancho Panza's mount portraying them as steady and loyal companions. This difference is probably due to donkeys being an important aspect of many Spaniards' lives now. In contrast to Grecian works, donkeys were portrayed in biblical works as symbols of service, suffering, peace and humility. They are also associated with the theme of wisdom in Hebrew Bible story of Balaam as and are seen in a passive light through the story of Jesus riding into Jerusalem on donkey. By the 19th century, the donkey was portrayed with more passive attributes by popular authors. So William Wordsworth portrayed the donkey as loyal and patient in 1819 poem Peterbilt, a tale using a donkey as a Christian symbol. Robert Louis Stevenson in Travels with the Donkey in 1879 portrays the animal as a stubborn beast, a burden. Sympathetic portrayals return in Juan Ramon Jimenez, Platero, and I. The Melancholy Yuri is a Minnie the Pooh, first published in 1926, as arguably most famous donkey in Western literature. In J.K. Chesterton 1927 poem, The Donkey, the animal depreciates himself as a chartered outlaw of the earth, but finally reveals his moment of glory on the first Palm Sunday. Donkeys were featured in literature during 21st century, including in George Orwell's 1951 Animal Farm, where Benjamin the donkey is portrayed as a resilient and loyal friend to Baxter the horse, as well as being wise, but he is also known to be cynical about the chains and, like Erie, is resigned to his lot, not for improving. Puzzle is a well-meaning but easily manipulated donkey in C.S. Luwu 1956, The Last Battle. Brightly is central character of the 1953 children's novel and 1967 film Brightly of the Grand Canyon. Donkeys are portrayed in film, including in 1940 Disney animated films Fantasia and Pinocchio, where the coachman and his henchmen steering boys into donkeys in Pleasure Island, and the segment of Beethoven's Symphony Number 6, also known as Pastoral Symphony, a unicorn donkey named Jacques with Bacchus and is attacked by Zeus. A donkey is featured as a film figure in 1960s film O Hazard But Desire by Robert Bresson and is given a life path of Christian symbolism. The major character Donkey Boys with Eddie Murphy features significantly within the Shrek film franchise, the logo and brand identity of popular YouTuber video game Donkey features as a cartoon donkey. Okay, in philosophy, the symbolic use of us in philosophy and literature has been prevalent for centuries. It was increasingly used in Renaissance era from thinkers including John Buridan in 1330 to 1358, Machiavelli in 1469 to 1527, and Cornelius Agrippa in 1486 to 1535. The philosopher John Buridan in 13th century proposed a dilemma in which a hypothetical donkey suffering from hunger and thirst finds itself halfway between a bucket of fresh water and enjoyable bales of hay. So this makes the donkey perplexed as it does not know whether to quench its thirst first or appease its hunger later or the vice versa. Its indecisiveness leads to its perils. So this allegory could be taken as the cause of human inaction or as a total lack of free will versus the determinism in human life. Agrippa plays a puzzle in a level with Asis, so regarded the donkey to achieve divinity. So from what I have said, it is clear as day that no other animal is in a better position than the uh, us to receive the divine. If you do not look to the us, you will be a position to receive a divine mystery. So Machiavelli complained that in the form of an ass, he had toiled and suffered to discover more bad than good at every level of the world. So Giordano Bruno is another philosopher of Renaissance era who utilized fictitious exposition of the donkey to achieve theoretical depth. So in this long journey to explore the opposite aspects of phenomenon of asininity, he combines the delicacy of an artist and a depth of great philosopher. So according to Kabbalistic revelations, the ass or asininity is the symbol of wisdom. Pray, my dearest ones, that God may transform into asses if you are not already asses. Strive, therefore, to be asses, you who you are men.